Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monique. If this is the first time that you're visiting me, welcome, and let's get comfortable and discuss. And to those that subscribed recently, I appreciate you and I hope that my videos are useful to you. So today I just want to come from the point of talking about my experiences with my first year of PT school and PTA school too as well. Anyone that has watched my previous videos knows like my pathway, so I don't really think I need to repeat that. You can always go back and watch those videos. But my first semester of PT school I had, and most programs kind of set up like that. Each one is different. But they had us taking neuroscience and gross anatomy. And these are believed to be like the weed out classes. So if you don't survive this, then chances are you probably won't survive the other classes that are to come. I mean, that's what they said. But then when cardiopulmonary came along, I was like, whoa. Even pediatrics, I was like, whoa. But I figured, oh, you know, gross anatomy shouldn't be that bad. I did well in anatomy school, and PTA school was not that bad. But then I forgot that PTA school was like years, like 6, almost 7 years before that period. So I had literally forgotten a lot. So my study habits were, because I did change, and I feel like you do need to adapt because every student is different. Some study one thing and they just go over it one time. Some have to do it 3, 4 times or more to get it. But my study habits were, I would record the lecture. Even though we had the notes in front of us, like our professors were very good at giving us like very thorough outlines that we could follow and like, you know, PowerPoints. And but I would rewrite what was on the paper and additional information that I got because that's how I retained it. But again, I'm different. Not everyone's like me. And so I would write this information down, go back home or library or whatever, read the lecture all over again, read the book completely, and then just kind of quiz myself in my head. And then, like, you know, study with a group. My one buddy who I've posted a video or two with, AB, we were like studying like crazy. So this first exam I was like, oh, I got this in the bag, like it's not gonna be that bad. Let me tell you. Well, so we go in, and because the way our lectures were set up was we would do the lecture portion of the gross anatomy, and then we would go up into the cadaver lab and then do our dissections and, you know, locate the structures that we talked about. And so we dissected by division, so upper extremity, lower extremity, thorax, and all those things. Anyways, so I prepared like that whole week, and a lot of you know I was working full-time as a PTA and also going to school full-time. So literally my lunch breaks were like studying. When I came home, aside from taking care of like my wifely and motherly duties, I would get work done. I literally was the first person to wake up and the last person to go to sleep. Sometimes I got like 4 hours, 3 hours tops of sleep, but I needed to get it done because I needed to sacrifice, right? Because that's what I wanted. So I had prepared, at least I thought, that day, the day of the exam, because I drove to school. So my classmate and I, AB, my buddy, we had driven to campus, and literally we stayed on campus from like, we got there around 9 and we did not leave until 3 a.m. Like 9 p.m. and we didn't leave until 3 a.m. and the exam was like at 7 o'clock or 7:30, 7:30, one of those. So rushing like crazy, we were like rushing, and then like downtown Philly is a headache to park. So we were literally going around looking for parking, and finally, you know, went into a parking garage and parked there, rushed to go to our seats. And when we sat down, I was like, again, you know, I'm very prayerful. So I'm like, Lord, you know, thank you, Lord. I've passed an ACES exam, you know, positive speaking and declaration. And I was like, I got this. Like, you know, I've studied, I've prayed, you know, what could go wrong? Well, I sit down, you know, start writing my exam or whatever, and I'm like, I got this. This is not bad. You know, just cruising through the questions. I was like, oh, you know. So when we finished, we got together, and my buddy, AB, was like, yo, what'd you think about the exam? I was like, well, I didn't think it was that bad. You know, I thought it was pretty fair, pretty good. I feel good about it. Well, the thing is, we didn't get our grades until the following week for class. And when we came in, I get my paper because, you know, when the professor comes and the professor's assistant comes, they place the papers down, the test down, so other people don't see it. So then I'm like, I flip it over and I see 6 first. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm gonna pass out. So then I see 68. I was like, oh, no, honey, this could not be happening. I mean, in my program, I mean, even 70 was unacceptable. It was a fail. So, you know, I was really down, and so was my classmate. He also didn't do well, and we both like thought we studied. I mean, we did like Google Hangouts. We studied all that week and everything. So then I was really sad, and I remember we had taken like a bathroom break, and our professor was like, you guys don't fret. I know it's the first exam, and a lot of people didn't do as well, but it's okay. Hopefully you'll catch on and know what was going on. So I kind of sat there baffled, like confused, you know, and all these thoughts rushing in my mind, like, you know, maybe I should have just stuck with being a PTA and just been happy. Like, why am I even killing myself out here like this? You know, am I going to make it? I've already started with like a 68. What next? You know, continue with all these 60s and 70s and then end up failing out. So I went to the bathroom, and 2 of my other classmates were in there crying, like literally like crying, tears coming out, like bawling out. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I understand that like you failed and just like me, but like take it easy. Like it's never that serious. I mean, well, for each person, I say that, right? Because it's me, but each person copes differently. So I shouldn't say that. That's insensitive. But I just was like, for me, I don't think I'm sad, I'm down, but I'm not going to cry. I'm just going to pick up myself, dust off, and continue going. So then I went and I took a pen and paper and I sat down and said, okay, what were my faults? Like, what did I not do right? Did I not study well? Was it my study habits? Did I not sleep well? Again, I always mention sleep being like a very important component. I mean, research has shown that adequate sleep actually helps with retention and memory storage. So I was like, am I not sleeping well? Am I overstudying? Because you can overstudy and confuse yourself actually. Or am I not reading the questions well? Well, I realized that my professor, who had served on the APTA board and wrote 10 million, board exam questions, was a professional at writing. And it wasn't necessarily that I didn't know the information, but I did not read properly. So the questions would be like, are not, or are, or I would see like a keyword and then not catch that one little phrase that was negating what I thought was. And so once I picked that up, I realized, oh, okay, so actually exams are not, if you know your information and if you study, you'll be okay. The hard part for all students that I've ever spoken with is the test taking component, because each professor writes their exam very differently and have different expectations. And I feel like when you read the questions, it doesn't matter what subject matter you're in. Even the most simplest question can confuse you because you think you have to think so much beyond the question, but only answer what the question is asking. And always underline. From that point on, I started underlining, circling words that were not specific to the question or were trying to trick me. And then I would choose the right answer. And that was the worst exam score I ever got through ever in PT school. I mean, from that point on, I was like 90s and above, 80s tops, but 90s and above. And, but imagine that I had just given up on that one exam and said, you know what, screw it, I'm done. Like, I'm not even going to try because I'm already failing this. And I'm supposed to know. I'm a PTA. I deal with anatomy every single freaking day. Like, why am I messing up? But don't be too hard on yourself, guys. Just read the question again if you can, unless it's a computer test. But even if it is, just get your paper, circle, underline, cross out, whatever you have to do to help you get through, do it. And you'll be all right. But that's just one of the stories, but I have 10 million stories to talk about. So let me know. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to be doing a series of first year of PT school down up until I completed. Now that I have completed, I can talk about that. But Anyways, guys, thank you again. Continue to share, like, and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later.